just wanted to make sure I was on the right show. Cool. Okay. So, as long as you're back and I am back, I am here and you are here and we are here and we are all together. Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Starting over. Okay. Thank you, William D. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Again, second time is the charm. Just wanted to make sure, because I have 3 different meetings and I've had meetings with different people today. So I just wanted to make sure that I was on the correct meeting for our guest. It is Thursday, January 26th. This is my second time for the night, and it's snowing. There's snow. Oh, cool. You're in St. Pete? How long are you there? How long are you there? Oh, I have a super cool friend in St. Pete. I should totally introduce you to them. Seriously, if you're performing, I need to know. Tell me. I got another Displaced and Share for tomorrow night that I kind of don't want to wait for. But I think I'm going to just show it to you right now. Till Monday. Okay, are you performing? Are you teaching? Tell us. Send me a message. So, my very first toy that I remember was this Pixie Posy, this doll. And I've shown it on the show before, and I'll show it again sometime. I'm not quite sure where it is. It's this doll that had wire inside. You didn't see it. And she was foamy and soft, and then you could pose her. Pixie Posy. She had bangs, but then I cut them a lot shorter because I thought they were going to grow back. But I remember another toy that I had, and I found it in a box. See, I was going to wait for Displaced and Share, but it's staring at me. It's kind of, the only thing, it's missing something. But see, it's like this. You take it apart. It's a puzzle, right? Even the feet come off. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think she'll be going to the event, but if you have anything outside of the event, or if you have some time. So it's got the feet, and then you do this, and you do that, and you do this. I don't know where it's from. I was joking with a friend tonight. I said, I think I found a toy, and I described from what country, and we were laughing like where it could be from, but I don't know. Like, is it Swedish? I don't know. I love his eyes. Their eyes, her eyes, his eyes, them eyes. Love them, their eyes. My very first, toy other than Posy Pixie and my Barbies that I loved. But it just when I saw it today, I just went, just like I'm going to do right now. I hope you guys are having an easy day, because there's a lot going on out there that's not easy and not good. And I want to encourage all of us to take note in what's happening and work and be kind with yourselves. It starts there. And it also starts when you have some cool little animal that needs some clothes. Hello, that's why our next guest right here, right now. And I have to move this from the background right here, right now. Lauren Greene. Wow. Hey. She's cute. You need to unmute, girl.
Okay. Hi.
What are you dancing to? Yes.
Wet leg, wet leg, the group Wet Leg. They're great. I
Wet
love them.
leg?
Wet Leg, British group. They're so naughty. I love them. They're just great. They're a bunch of crazy girls, with boys in the band, of course, too. But the two front singers are they're just fun. They have great lyrics. They're fun lyrics, and check them out. Wet Leg, and I think they're going to pick up a lot of Grammys and stuff. Or they're already working on a second album, I think. But
I,
everything off the one album is great.
I have this cute little child
Hey,
with no clothes.
oh, he doesn't have any clothes, but he looks cute without clothes.
Doesn't he? I like his belly.
Yeah, he's got a belly on him. Hold on, let me turn my music on. Okay, stop. Okay, whatever. I can't get it to stop. Yes, he's adorable. Is that yours from a
Yeah.
long time ago?
No, it's actually there's a story behind it um that I don't want to talk about right now, but
Oh,
but I have other stuffed beings that don't have clothes either.
oh, hmm. Whole naked crew. I think most of mine old ones that I've had since I was a child, none of them have clothes either. I just, mine have clothes because I started working with like themes, for each of the animals. And let's see.
How do you find them? Do you search them out? Hi, Claudia. Hey, Tammy.
Hi, everybody. I can't see who's here, so I don't know. If you see anybody new, that means that they saw my post on Facebook,
I
and so
love
they
your
might.
post. Gina! Hi, Gina. My friend Gina's here. Another Gina. Another Gina.
Another Gina. Cool.
No panties. There's no panties on this. No panties.
You could have some pretty panties on there. Some
Yes, right.
bloomers.
Some like
Some bloomers.
little pink bloomers, maybe.
Yeah. Some lacy edges, I,
What
no,
inspired you to do what you're doing?
well, years and years ago, I had done some for my nieces. Both of my nieces are grown up and have grown kids, and we have kids. And I made them by hand. I didn't even have a sewing machine back then. And I made them from scraps of fabric I had. And I got some stuff at an old thrift shop. And I had these like little boxes that had noises in them. And if you went, and went, mm, mm. And so I put those in the animals. And I think my sister said, she said that they still have them in storage. They still have the ones, the original ones I made, but they had earrings and little outfits. And I think they were both little bears that I started off with. They were cute. And I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I think I just put buttons for eyes and, just did a little embroidery on the nose, mouth. Um, and then years later, I was going to the Texas Renaissance Festival, and I brought a couple of pieces with me, and they sold immediately. I had like Robin Hood Rabbit in velvet hat and his little tie, you know, little top with the zigzags on it. And I had Queen Elizabeth Mouse, and she had the lace ruff going around, and she had pearls and earrings and brocade gown and quite elaborate. So I intend to do some more of Queen Elizabeth's, maybe even Queen Elizabeth II too.
Hmm.
I have to find, maybe I'll just design the little bags, how she always had her yellow hat, yellow coat, yellow, and her sensible shoes. But that's the thing is I have to create the clothing. The clothing is not available in a pattern of any kind. So that's what takes me a while. I have to measure them, and I do. I have paper that I use that and
Pattern?
muslin, cheap fabric that I have that I'll cut it out, try it out, rearrange it, and then I'll make a final pattern because I know I'll reuse it later. So I have lots of these little.
Thanks, you guys, for being here. It's Thursday night conversation with the creative. She is the number one conversation with the creative right now.
So I have these patterns that I've made, and sometimes I take the patterns that they have and I blow them up to make the animals bigger. I go to a copier and I'll blow them up. And you see, this one is this was a little cotton piece, and it's got the directions cut to, and it's a real simple little pattern for that one. And there's a smaller size, and that's basically how it looks. These animals are really fat, they're not skinny little animals. They don't have skinny waists. Yeah, thusly, they've got guts. They've been eating and drinking too much. So I do that.
They're at your house. What did you have for lunch today?
What did I have? I had granola this morning. And maybe I had some leftover pasta that I made with zucchini. Yeah, zucchini and little tomatoes, mushrooms. And no, that was yesterday. I had a salad. And I had like sumac and sprinkled with sumac, and it was like romaine lettuce chopped up, and I mandolins, some purple onions, and I just threw in a bunch of junk.
Sounds like a junk.
I'm trying to lose weight. I have to go to a Mardi Gras ball, and my waist is not what it used to be.
What are you going to wear?
Oh my God. A friend of mine loaned me this dress, and she told me what size it was. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to take it in. Well, I got it halfway zipped up, and all of a sudden I went, oh.
Can we see the dress?
The holidays attacked me. Hold on, I have to get it.
Okay. No panties. I know he doesn't have panties. Mac doesn't have panties. No panties. Tomorrow morning.
It's old Jessica McClintock.
Oh wow, old Jessica.
This is the Mystic Crew of Apollo. It's a gay ball. It's the best one they have in life.
I've been to that ball.
It's fun. And just my friend I'm going with is also a costumer, and she's going as one of those the pearly queens, the British people that dress up. They wear the black hats, black suits, and they're covered with white pearl buttons. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going like this, and I'm gonna do my hair like Holly Golightly from Breakfast at Tiffany's. I got a little tiara. My hair. My friend's gonna do my hair. I've got gray hair, so I guess I'll be Holly Golightly.
I'll go later on.
All right, here we go.
Whoa, vintage Jessica McClintock.
Strapless, and then this is the back. It's got like this bustle thing,
Far out.
Look how can you see?
Wow.
Isn't that fine? And so I got my black gloves. They were too big, so I had to kind of redo them. But they're those really long gloves.
Your opera gloves.
They go all the way up, almost hide my ugly arm, but they come up to about here. Been trying to do those exercises, not gonna help, I know, but I just have to, get some duct tape and pull it all on the back somewhere.
And are you wearing a shawl of some sort?
What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. I have this like faux fur like little top. Okay, hold on.
Get it, girl. We're doing a little Monday morning movement on Thursday night conversations with the creatives. Conversations with the creatives. Just a little bit of a movement.
It's probably gonna be so damn freezing cold. This is it.
Ooh,
Can you see it? It's like that
that
Russian lamb or
yeah,
whatever you call it.
I was gonna say poodle, but I meant lamb.
Russian poodle.
That
So,
boiled thing.
la 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 la. And then I have my tiara.
Far
And
out.
I actually, oh look, this is what my hair is gonna look like. And maybe I can do my makeup, you know, maybe. I really need duct tape,
You need duct tape for what?
my neck.
Oh, neck duct tape your neck back.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go with it. You can't do
But
that.
then I cannot. But you know what I thought? What I'll do
This is my friend
is I
Lauren.
have tons of pearls.
Oh yeah.
Just like, Diane Keaton, that wrap them around so they're all the way up here in my neck and draping and everything. And that'll work maybe. That could work.
You could wrap them around your arms.
Yeah. Oh shit. What am I gonna do? It is what it is, damn it. I'm gonna be 65 in April and just
That's right, girl.
yeah.
So, how many parades are you going to?
I'm not going to New Orleans. I never go to New Orleans. It's too nuts. I might go and there's a night parade with floats that throw tons of stuff. Like I need that. But I go with some
I'll make
friends.
it over here. I'll throw stuff at you. I have a ton of stuff.
Do you know when I lived in New York City, my ex-husband and I we dressed up and we bought tons of throws and we went, some friends of ours they were a Cajun Zydeco, they were a Zydeco rock band at the time. And they were doing a Mardi Gras celebration at this bar restaurant or something. They were up on the stage and we walked in and we started throwing the beads at people.
Like, what the fuck?
They were ducking. They were like, what the?
This is crazy lady throwing stuff.
I had no idea that they're supposed to go, give me something. Right. Give me something, mister. Throw it at me. And yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, they thought we were absolutely out of our minds.
Good. More the better. In a good get out of your mind, but stay in your heart.
Yeah. Oh, I brought I used to march. I don't march anymore because I took a spill when I slipped on some beads a couple of years ago, wearing those boots that I showed you, those majorette boots.
I'm not
fell on my knee.
Oh, you
blood
did? During the parade?
Blood. Yeah, I was walking, and I was like holding the thing, and I had some stockings on, and here I am coming around the bend with like blood all over me. It's like, no. I've been doing that for 45 years. I figured, just about. So, I mean, time to, come on, just walk, see stuff on the sidelines. So I'm going to hang out at a friend's house who always serves food and people, congregate and get together and stuff. And I'll go to that. I'll just watch my people go by. I'm part of the crew of Kush Kush, which we founded in 1979. It almost didn't last like March because we were like the crew of Kush Kush marching trash can band. You couldn't have a legitimate instrument. You can have, cans with rocks or no kazoos even. No kazoos. Garbage cans that you beat on. And we walked. Everybody dressed like whatever. And then after a while, it started establishing itself as the men were really jealous of the women in their slutty outfits. And they said, well, why can't we be sluts? And so he said, well, there's nothing, we don't have any problem with that. So they started wearing ripped up hose with garter belts. And we almost got kicked out of the parade because some of the guys were wearing women's panties. And when we did the rollover and play dead, that, parts were falling out. So they said, you've got to wear underwear as outerwear, and that's it,
Or some leggings or something.
Yes, something under there. So we were just notorious for having wild outfits. And I was always wearing the same outfit, which was ripped up stockings. And I think I posted a picture of it in 1983. Hair just all over. And
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I love that shot.
And that's that they every year for years when Mardi Gras was about to show up, they'd post that in the local paper.
Great shot.
And say, it's here. And so I was post parade. I needed to go to the bathroom. I was trying to get by these two guys in the door, and they were brothers, and they were like, who are you? And they knew who well I was, they're giving me a hard time. And they said, you look like a slut. And they started singing Frank Zappa's Crew Slut, So then after that, I became Crew, K-R-E-W-E, Crew Slut. And so I'm the official Crew Slut. Because years later, when I became queen, I was made queen, and all the girls were like, well, who's going to be Crew Slut? Who's going to be Crew Slut this year? And I said, all of you can be the Crew Slut. And then the next year, all of the guys were like, well, we want to be Crew Slut. So that's how they started wearing all those pantyhose and, bustiers and stuff like that. But I am, hold on. This is the back of my outfit. And this is the front.
Incredible.
Oh, shit, where's the thing? I thought I had something on here that said OKS. OKS. Oh, that's on my hat, I think. On my hat it says, and so I'm official Crew Slut. The new kids don't that march. The new kids that march with us now don't know any of that. So I'm a nothing anymore.
You're not the queen anymore?
I'm not, I don't have the strength of sluttiness, I guess. Huh?
They should carry you.
Right? They should. Or roll me in a wheelchair.
Or a wheelchair. Next year, I've been to Mardi Gras a handful of times throughout the years. Next year, I'm coming to you.
Okay.
I don't need to go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I'm coming to you. And then we got to figure out the Rolf Jenna thing. It's got to happen because
I know.
The other thing's not happening. Did I tell you?
What's that?
Not happening.
Oh no, really? Ah, damn. Well, I'm hoping some people are watching right now because Jenna, if you're watching, and are any of my friends on right now? Any
Identify.
people?
They could be watching, but not saying that they're here.
Um, maybe so because Cash and Sandra were asking about this. So if they're on, say hello.
Hello.
Um, and
Like,
I'm trying to
like this,
get
using cash, like that.
Cash Kash
Kash.
Kash and Sandra and
There's people
a
that I
few other
post.
people. A few other people might be on there,
That's
and and so we're trying to. I'm trying to get some friends that have a really great honky tonk. It's an old train station that they use for um, kind of private performances. They don't have like a beer license or anything, so it's like BYOB, and they have great shows there. And so I'm trying if I could get you in around town too. So while you're here, but I'm going to work on that, and because I think people would love to hear you sing. Hey guys out there, if you haven't heard Jenna sing, she's amazing, just lovely. And so I'm going to try to do that. And plus, there's other festivals that like if you could come and just to hang out too. But I'm so sorry about New Orleans. That's really a bummer.
yeah. Their vibe creator wanted to go in a different direction.
Uh,
That's my
vibing
new
out.
job, by the way. If anybody needs a vibe creator, I'm that's my new job, vibe creator.
Vibe creator.
I am. I'm gonna make a new resume, and I'm gonna be a vibe creator because I am a vibe creator. So I might as well work it.
I think so. I think we got to just rework whatever we can, just find new paths and work it out.
Create a new vibe. So can we see a couple stuffies? Do you have a Mardi Gras
Okay.
stuff?
No, no, no. It's a very slow process. And during most of the holidays, I was ill. I was sick. I had like allergy cold attack that lasted for a month. And so I didn't want to work on anything because when I did, I sewed on the rabbit's arms backwards. And, just stuff that, oh gosh, start over again. And I take the stuffing out and move it around. Oh, it's a
So you
pain.
actually make the animals.
Yes, I make the animals. And, if anybody's interested in doing that, you can buy patterns. You can buy patterns. And a lot of it is
Wow.
you can do it. If my advice though is you better be good at
My
sewing.
advice is call you, or I have a friend here in town, Tess, that makes she takes a stuffed animal. She makes a little teddy bear out of whatever, like a shirt that you love, somebody that's gone. Yeah, and quilts. She does the memory quilting.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And you have to have no sewing and understand patterns and understand and know what you're doing with your fabric because you can't just use any fabric for bodies because if it's too stretchy, it gets all out of whack and shape, doesn't hold up very well. Upholstery fabric, I found out, don't use it unless you have a much larger animal. I'll show you this. This is Millie Titbit,
hold on.
and she is the harvest mouse, and so she has her little acorn, and her head turns. So she's got a cotter pin and a disc in there so that she can move around. Now, this fabric, look at these arms. They're just little bitty bitty arms. Try turning that inside out. And it took me like an hour to do two arms in just turning them inside out. And like I said, I make the little patterns. I use antique laces and everything. She's got a little tail that's made out of leather. And
No.
this is on her backside, that's where the tag is for my company. And it's called Manfred, Manfred. So she's got this little outfit on. Let's see if you can see her better back here. Do. And
What kind of shoes? Does she have shoes?
no, they don't have shoes. Not this one. She's just a little mousy. And what she has is a little basket. And I have a little basket that I made up. And inside of it are her acorns. See little acorns and moss in there. And she carries that with her. So she's like carrying her moss and her acorns. And oh, she's on the piano right now. Oh. And this little guy, dun, 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 he's got an earring. You see his earring? You see his little earring in his ear. This is Sir Figsby Bearson. And Sir Figsby, where's his hat? I'd make a little hat for him, inside of it. He's got a little feather. And Sir Figsby has his bubble pants on. I had to wear bubble pants. He's 16th century guy, and he's got his waistcoat on right here. You can see. And underneath, he's got a little, typical of the times, they always wore a white shirt underneath, and he's got the black work here. This is it's an embroidery. I hand stitched the embroidery on there, and that's always around the collar. And he's got his little suit on, his little brocade and trim, and then he dons his hat. And he told me, he said he was going to the pub. So came back from the pub with his little pewter stein. And his little stein. And it's like, look at this. Isn't that cute? Look inside. It's got a little flower inside. Is that adorable? And it's so pretty and intricate. And so he's got his little beer stein. He's going to hang out with King Henry VIII and Thomas Cromwell and wherever else.
Stein.
I went on Etsy and I went everywhere looking for them. And I was like, they don't really tell you how big they are. They have miniature steins that are easy, but they're like this big, they're like little Barbie doll size. As if Barbie dolls would drink out of beer steins. Never know. But anyway, so I have this little beer stein here, and I got a pack of 3. Look at this. This is so cute.
Tammy, I'm so glad you're here. Like an hour ago. Where's Tammy? Bam. Oh, so you have a plethora of steins.
Yeah, they were from a place in Louisiana that on Etsy, and I just thought look at that. That's cute. That's going to be for a little lady. Look at this guy. This is going to be for a big guy because this is kind of big and intricate. Aren't they gorgeous? I can't believe I found them. I wanted to find a real good quality one. I didn't want to just get, anything, like a regular beard. But that's part of the trick too, is finding miniature things. Sometimes you can't find them, and sometimes you have to make do. Or miniature things are so expensive. It's like you might as well buy them normal size thing.
Like a little Tabasco bottle.
Ah, yeah, that'd be a good one.
I have lots of little
Well,
things. I just don't know how to sew.
I have an artist that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do a little bear artist, and he's going to be in fur. He's going to be in. He's gonna. This is the thing too: is buying fabric that's really good and durable. And this fabric is like a cotton, but it wasn't cheap, and it's from a German company. The Germans love stuffed animals. They're known for making all their stuffed animals Stein, the German Stein, what are they called? Stifes.
Yes.
Now, I want to make a little artist. So I found a little thing where you could have like a little artist palette, right? So I made one and I put some paints on it. And then they made this thing that you could go online and make a copy of it, print it, and I coated it with this thing and I made like little miniature paint. I don't know if you can see
Oh,
that.
little paints. Carol, do you see this like miniature paints that you're going to paint onto that you squeezed
Yeah, paint tubes.
paint
Paint
tube?
tubes. And they just I put felt at the bottom
Did you
and I
make,
glued them.
did you make the
So yeah, well, yeah, I cut it up and did it all like that. But then I wanted to buy, this is
wait,
crazy.
wait,
I needed to buy paintbrushes, right? So I went on Etsy and they had these paintbrushes, like 3 for $9. And then she was going to charge me $15 for shipping. I'm like, wait a minute. How much is a little miniature paintbrush?
$37. Well, they're
You,
$9, but
you know, $15.
that's when I know that
You,
I'm not charging enough money
like, right. And I'm like,
or not.
so I went and got some dowels and I painted them black, cut them up, got some of that tape that's like, looks like metal. It's like sticky tape. And then I had an old brush and I just cut the hairs from, and I made some little paintbrushes. It's kind of fun.
My friend Tammy just said she loves the Tabasco bottles, reminds her of her grandma. She used to drink it straight.
Oh my God.
She drank it
Okay.
straight. She would just drink this like gunk, 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 gunk. What?
Another thing you have to think about when you make animals is you have to do the eyes. Now, I went and bought some plastic eyes because they were like $10 and they came in 5 million sizes. Awful. Scratch surfaces, the iris is like off, So I found a German resource that's out in California, actually, and it carries those materials and stuff. And they have all different size glass eyes, and they're a little bit more expensive, but worth it because this is what you get. You get a beautiful. I don't know if you can see it.
Can you hold it up? Yeah.
You can see that the black in the side and it's a dark brown. You can get different colors. You can get orange, you can get green, you can get whatever you want. But
You attach that to the stuffing.
oh, okay. Do you see how it has like a little wire in the back? Some of them are straight, and you have to bend it. So I just did this. I'm working on this little mouse. She's got silk velvet pink ears. I just did the embroidery on her. And these eyes, you can see, are the same quality eyes. And what you do is you have to mark where you want to have it, mark where you want to have it on here. And, stick it in the fabric. But this is kind of complicated. You got to get a nice needle and got to be a long needle, long, 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 because it's got to go through the edge, and it's got to come into the back area here. And there's a way of threading it that you double thread it, go around this loop, pull it through the back, and then do the other eye, do the same thing, pull it back, tighten it so it kind of sits into the head a bit. And then you knot it from the back, and then you get rid of see what I mean? It's after all, it's easy. And so
this is called what's it called?
What?
Manfred.
Hold on, let me show you.
Love this woman.
Where's my Manfred thing? It's probably going to go backwards, right? It's backwards.
Manfred.
So, Cammy, get out of the garbage. God dog it. Look at that.
Party! Mardi Gras.
Cammy's going in the garbage.
Aww.
Cammy, get out of the garbage.
Hi, Cammy.
No. That's thread in there. So anyway, so here is the stuff that you stuff it with. It's a poly. It's a clean poly. It's not going to get you sick or anybody sick or anything like that. But you have to fill.
Flame retardant.
This is the tail for the mouse, and I've just put on the little tag here. And there's in the bottom of the mouse, or in the bottom of all of them, you have to put pellets in there so that they're weighted a little bit. And so I make bags.
I feel a little max.
Yeah. So that they sit.
Right.
So yeah. So
got a little trunk.
This is not full. And this got there, I just put his tail in. I gotta sew that in there. I'm gonna hand sew that because my machine won't reach that. But you have to fill this stuff. And you would not believe how much fuzz goes into an animal, because it's got to be on all the seams. You want them to be sticking out. You don't want them. But anyway, then you have to when you get all that in there, you have to hand sew this. And then, for instance, with this, I want to do, wrong way. The head's going to go like this on here. You can see. And I'm going to do a cotter pin. This is you use a cotter pin, looks like this. You've probably seen them before. And it has a disc, and it has a little washer. And you're going to stick this through here. And it's going to go, this is where the head's going to go. You go up under here, and you go up under and you stick it up through there so that, get the fuzz away. And you stick it up through there so that it comes through the top. Then you're going to get a cotter pin, another cotter pin, and a disc. and stick it through here. Now I've got to sew this together after I get
Hi,
the
Gina.
counter pin. So yeah, it's a process. But what that enables the animal to do is to turn its head
Like Linda
on the
Blair.
disc. Yes, mine do that. And
Animals turn their head. They turn their heads because they all have. That's something they have in common.
so this is going to be the Irish dancer. She's going to be the Irish dancer, and she's going to have a little outfit, a little green velvet dress, and she's going to have curly hairs. Here's some little curl
Does it
hairs.
curls?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on her head right there. And so she's going to have curls, and she's going to have her dancing outfit, and her feet are going to be stiff. They're not going to have cotter pins in, because you know those Irish dancers, they
Uh-huh.
stand on their pointy legs and and their arms are stiff, and they kind of, Michael Flatley stuff. And so that's what she's going to look like. But I want you to meet Hamish. Hamish is my Scottish hare, and I'm in love with him. And he plays bagpipes.
For those of you who have not met Hamish, but Hamish has evolved.
Hamish really has. Hamish has got his tam on. I knit a little scarf for him. He's got his sweater, and he's got his bagpipes, and he's got a kilt on and a bunny tail, of course. So
His face he's so sophisticated.
he's adorable. He's got this. I almost threw this rabbit against the wall. It was very intricate doing all the parts in the face for this. But I did not give up. I went ahead and do it, and I'll probably do another one like that because I really like the three-dimensional quality that comes out of the face. But I'm going to bring him to a Robert Burns dinner tomorrow night. We are having people recite Robert Burns, the Scottish poet who wrote Auld Lang Syne. And my friend who's Scottish is having the party, and he's got a piper and haggis. And of course, Hamish has got to go and get some haggis.
My friend Pat said rabbit abuse.
Oh my God. And I'm going to play Auld Lang Syne on my viol de gamba.
And he's got a what do you call it? His bagpipes. You showed us look at his legs.
Yeah, he can march. And his head turns. And his arms turn.
Incredible.
He was quite a deal. And you see, I've got even his little pin here on his. Can you see the pin? Yeah, hello. It's really fun. It's really fun when they start getting their eyes and their little embroidered, spots on, and all of a sudden you just came alive.
Yeah, he's got a total personality.
Hello there.
I think he's. Go ahead.
I think he's sold.
Now I was going to ask you. That was my next question. Are you were wanting to make a story? You need to make sure these are all photographed.
Yes. So I want to make a few more before I start to really sell them, because I'm going to need them. I want to do a storybook, just a brief little storybook. It's really more for adults than anything. And they're invited, all of the animals are invited to the house of Manfred. And they don't know who Manfred is. And so they're all mysterious. It's kind of like an Agatha Christie. Why are we invited here to this house. Who is Manfred? And, the Irish dancer, all she wants to know is Michael Flatley here? And, you know, um, Rodney the raccoon answers the door, and he's hosting, he's saying, I'll be your host this evening. And they're like, Rodney, what are you doing here? Why are you butlerizing or whatever you're doing? And, you're off the street these days. And he's like, I'll leave it up to the chickens. And so, but they're all there. And then, of course, Millie Titmouse is like, well, did anybody bring snacks? I brought a basket of acorns, and stuff. And of course, Sir Figsby is like, oh, I brought my Stein. I just need to find some beer. And so, and we have entertainment. And everybody's, oh, please, no. Yeah, we got to peep her down.
So you think that's sold, but you can't sell it until you finish the storybook.
Yeah, the storybook, I'm going to do the drawings. I'm going to do the drawings. And just paint it a little bit. And then it'll be short. It's not going to be long or anything. And at the end, I'll have a picture of me with all of the stuffies around me. And that way, and then after that, I can sell them to the people that want them and make more.
Questions have come in.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever make puppets or marionettes?
No, I don't, but my really dear friend Alice did, but she's no longer making them. She's retired from it. As a matter of fact, she gave me a lot of fabrics, small print fabrics, because you need that for the smaller animals, and small trims, and she carved. Now this one I had to buy. Oh no, where's this leg?
Hey, you guys, I have a show coming up in the Bay Area, actually in Sonoma, Saturday, April 8th. Come check it out. I know, Sebastiani Theater in Sonoma. And if you're loving what's happening tonight, please love the show. Please share the show. Tell your friends about the show. And if you would like a generous gift, is much appreciated. Venmo at Jenna-Mammina, PayPal.me/Jenna Sings, Patreon.com/Jenna Mammina, and I have Zelle. Share the show and go to the YouTube 1111 with Jenna and subscribe. Okay, there I go.
Now this is one of the puppets that she carved and made. Isn't he the best? This little guy is all wood, and the eyes, she does. She carves them herself, uses all the wood, paints them. He's a donkey, and I love him. And he's got like the butt, with his little tail.
I love him.
But I just saw that a pin came out. But what she does is, you see the hole here. She did the puppets with sticks, but their legs could move, So when he walked, when she could move him, he would walk. The puppets she has are incredible. I mean, just outstanding. And she used to do theater.
Was she a puppeteer? Did she actually perform?
Oh, yes. She even copied a traditional Russian theater called Vertep. And it is usually done around, it's about the birth of Jesus, and it's got Herod in it, and it's always got bad guys in it and everything. She did the whole theater that the puppets are in. I wish I could show you.
I wish I could go see it.
She's selling a lot of them to a museum in Georgia. And the wood she used, she did a lot of not Judy, there's Punch and Judy and that sort of thing, but she would do like the 7 deadly sins. And she had all the characters, sloth and greed, and and everything, or something where she could have like devils, really evil people, or the devil, or what was that? She did Faust, and she did it in German. And the puppets are just incredible. And this is a person I started costuming with in 1979, and we kind of challenged each other all the time. I started using beadwork and started doing intricate beadwork on the costumes. And then she started, oh yeah, so we were like in touch with Czechoslovakia and some of the local places that ordered the beads and stuff. And I made hats, I made shoes, and this was before the patterns were not available, at, when you go to the fabric store and, McCall's and Vogue and Simplicity. They had no costumes except for basic, Halloween ghosts, goofy stuff. But they didn't have. Now you can go and you can get, medieval.
Probably printed off the internet, I would think.
Yeah, you can get anything. And so we would study in libraries and get books that had paintings of people like Italian Renaissance, and we would look at it. We go, where's the seam? Do you see the seam? How is that being held up? We tried so many different things. It was all, try it. If you fail, try it again. Try something else.
Is Rodney the raccoon, is he in existence?
Not yet, but I have a drawing of him. Actually, my mother has the painting. He's really funny. I used to have a lot of raccoons that came to my house, so I did some paintings of them. I don't think I have a raccoon painting.
Hi, Emily Hughes. What's up, beauty? How are you? This is my friend Lauren Greene Whyte. She's in Louisiana.
Okay, yes. I was doing drawings, paintings of raccoons, and I had that's the piano again.
That was a hell of a chord.
I had I forgot I had this. I had one raccoon that would come to my back door, and he would stand there. He would stand up, and he wasn't a very cute raccoon, but I called him Silly because he would always do goofy things. And he would always come and say, "Where's my food?" And his mama, Miss Pauline, would come and visit and bring all of her kits. And he was one of the babies from one of the things. So this was a pastel I did of him when I was in my raccoon phase. So,
oh,
I don't know if you can see him.
Yes, bring him closer. Look at this, sweetie. Hi, Silly, you called him?
Yes.
Hi, Silly.
There he is.
Outstanding. Beautiful. Wow.
So he was cute. And he would just come and stand like that. And he would try to come in the house and everything, but I didn't want him in there with all the license stuff they have, whatever. But I would watch them eat and clean themselves. And I had a real bossy one. I had one whose name was Mothman because he was fascinated with the moths and the lamp, and he wanted to get the moths. But he was a male, and he would always try to get the food first and kick everybody out. And then he would go sit up in the rocking chair and basically almost pass out because he was totally sated. You could do anything. You could poke him in the belly. You could.
Hi, Michael. Michael Shepard's here now, too. We're coast to coast, Canada. I haven't seen any of your peeps, but my friend Michael's here. This is my friend Lauren Greene Whyte. She's in You're a Renaissance woman. You just are. You know how to do so many interesting things, and you're so good at them.
I get bored, you know. I mean, I just have to do things. If I see it, I got to try it. And one thing I know, I've just always done sewing. You know, I've done costumes and stuff. And
Draw. You can do all. You do. You're amazing.
I can't sing. You can sing, girl. You can
No, I
sing.
can't draw. I want to learn how to. If I could draw, if there could be a class, how to draw on a cocktail napkin. Oh, when people do that in a bar, they're like, "Oh, like this silly raccoon." I'm like, I save it forever. I,
Oh my gosh.
you're so
Yeah.
talented.
But it's
I do
I
love.
think I think when you sew, I think the good thing about sewing is you take something that's one dimensional, you turn it into something that's multidimensional. And especially with when you're doing animals, they're three-dimensional and they, like I said, you had the eyes, you had the personality, and they come alive. And you have, you know, you're playing God a little bit. You're playing creator.
Bringing life to these
Yeah,
to this
yeah.
fabric.
And people's reaction to them. I love that. You know, they see them, and you know, a lot of people, it's not children.
Oh
A
no,
lot of the time, it's not children. It's like older people, my mom's age and stuff. They see them. Yeah, they're like,
I have stuffed animals back there. Grace has hers downstairs. Oh,
oh,
I'm into it, girl.
they're nice. You know, I mean, they can take up a lot of room,
Yeah.
but
So did you have, that's my question. Was all this in California?
no, I just started this a couple of months ago.
Okay, but you had like, everything that's because your house was rented to someone else, correct?
This house was an Airbnb,
Okay.
and I bought it in 2018. And then I stopped doing Airbnb and I moved into it when I moved back from California. So yeah. But you know, another thing is that when I moved, I realized I had all this material. I had yarn, I had trims, you know, from doing costumes for
Carried it
theater and
back.
stuff.
Some people would they purge that stuff. I'm like, no, I'm keeping all my
You know, I'm so afraid, you know, old buttons and lace. And I just inherited a box from my family. I mean, huge box of lace that is, my family used to do that back at the turn of the century.
they made lace.
And
They
yeah, tatting lace, added it to, you know, linens for like mantles. And
Grace would love to see that. You'll have to come
oh yeah,
and just can you show
it's
us?
just beautiful. And so a lot of it, though, when I was going through, I was washing it in the tub with the special stuff that gets most of the brownness off of things. And they use it in museums and stuff. And some of it I just, you know, was ripped or had too much browning or tears. So I'm going to take off the lace edges and I'm going to use them on my stuffies. So I might just do one whole stuffy that's just all lace. The whole body is just covered in lace. I don't know. I gotta play with it. And that's another thing is that I'm using patterns now that I, you know, I had from books. You can get teddy bear books and stuff. And I might change, you know, do my own patterns with animals. You know, they might have long faces or short faces or, you know, lips, Mick Jagger lips.
Jagger, girl.
Got Jagger lips, lips like Jagger. So,
Yeah. We love Jagger. Women have lips
but,
like
I'm trying to think what else I had.
beautiful.
Yeah, so that, you know,
Do
it
you
can be
sew
tricky.
clothing too? You create clothing.
I have, you know, I'll tell you what, because fabric is so expensive, and to create something, to build it is costs your time. I mean, um, Hamish, the
Hamish, so how much, however much time you spend on someone like that, And then, and the product that you have,
10 to 11 hours.
you have
10
to,
to 11
what would you
hours.
sell him for?
About
What,
about 300. Yeah, about 300. And I have like a
I
list.
say 425
Oh my God. And my friend,
in
who
one.
knows? Haven't seen him yet. But for instance, I have like a list here. This is House of Manfred. And I have a list of all these things here, right? These
Oh,
are all the items that could go in there, like the pattern, the cost of the pattern, the elastic, embroidery. Is there embroidered patches, eyes used, fabric for the body, knitting, jacket buttons, blouse, apron, ruff, lace, trim, scarf, hat, shoes, socks, whatever, guns.
guns. No guns. No more guns.
No guns. Thank God. This will not have guns. And then
That take a
what?
Sharpie and
No guns. Um, but you have to figure
oh,
all that out. And then I have 40 years of sewing and that sort of thing to think about that I have to put into the cost of it. I know how to fix things and I know what materials go best with
can
what.
you bring your sewing machine here? And I have about a box of clothing that needs to be. I have so many things. Come here. I'll give you clothes. We'll hang out. We'll have a party.
I was doing a little bit of tailoring, which is just basically hemming and
Please come
sewing
here.
on
We'll feed you.
stuff.
We'll party. We'll make stuffies. We'll make beach. Come here in the summertime. You'd love it.
Oh my God. I have my friend's Bernina. My sewing machine was stolen when I moved a couple years back. And she loaned me hers because she wasn't using it. I have had it. I have done three theater productions using her machine.
Wow.
And I brought it to California and I brought it back. It's a Bernina, but it's an older one. You can see it. Hold on, let's see if I can move this so you can see it. There it is.
Soft.
It's not one of those big electronic things. I don't like those. I only use the most basic things. I don't even do those machine embroidery things. Ugh.
Awesome.
It does zigzag. It'll do a buttonhole.
Okay.
It goes forwards and backwards. Hello, that's all I need. I adjust my needles. I don't make it complicated. God, dog. I mean,
No time.
and machines are so expensive now. I don't even think they make these kind anymore. I want just the old kind.
I'm trying to remember that the
Singers are good. Singers, the big
Bernina had a jingle, and I can't remember it now. Bernina something. It'll come to me tonight around 3.
Bernina, I just met a girl named Bernina, a machine named Bernina. Da, la, 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 la.
I love you. You come back and show us. What's her name? The mouse.
Millie Tidbit. Oh, wait. Oh, this is Cloda.
Cloda?
This is Cloda, which is it's an Irish name. Clodagh.
Whoa.
Yeah, Cloda. And she's gonna have whiskers. And she's gonna have her curls. Where's her curls?
Those curls. That big bag. What are you gonna do with that whole bag of curls, girl?
I don't know. I got some that she's
I'm
gonna have
a bag of curls.
She's gonna have curls. Because those girls wear those faux curls.
Ugh.
Those dancers. Oh God, look at this. Doll stuff. A lot of this stuff is like doll stuff. And doll stuff is expensive. So if you can make stuff and you can be creative, like the little paints.
Paintbrushes.
That's stuff like that. Little hats. I have some miniature cowboy boots. I
have to see them.
Oh, better take it. Oh wait. And these are when
my heart right now. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and my phone just
This
notified.
is one leg, and this is a sock.
No, that's
And
her
so
leg.
that's her leg. And so I'm going to make some little shoes for her with black felt. I'll cut it up and make like a little,
Like little Mary Jane kind of thing.
yeah, like a little Mary Jane. And so she's got like a sock on, and then she'll have a little shoe on, like they do. What else do they have?
Did you make the sock?
No, I had to buy that.
Bought the, did
Makes
it
me
come in a
mad.
pack of 10?
Makes me mad when I have to buy things. But I have like, look at this. All this stuff is, also a way you can use things. I was looking for bagpipes.
Right.
And they wanted a fortune for bagpipes. Guess where I got them? It was from a Christmas tree store. That's a Christmas ornament. And the bagpipes, look at the little hat. Little bitty hat.
Much.
And look, one of my rabbits might give birth.
A little baby
So I have to make a little
rabbit.
and look at this. It even moves.
Can you bring it
And
up?
the head doesn't.
Oh, his head is
I don't think that
like yours.
not the head moves, but the arms and the little.
Someone's gonna have a baby. Someone's got to do it, right?
Oh my God, and I just had all this fabric and I was like, what am I doing with all this fabric? I've got to use it. I've got to use it. And I was like, I don't want to make clothes. Because, people they ask me all the time, do you make your own clothes? It's cheaper to buy my clothes, really. It's cheaper to buy my clothes unless there's something I maybe want to make for maybe a gown or a Mardi Gras costume or something. But nah. There's so much stuff you can get so cheap.
Yeah. And then do you ever take clothes and redesign them?
I have.
Cycle them, as the kids say?
I do. I have done that. I did that like years and years ago. And just added things like other fabrics or belts to them. And
You're so good. Your style.
Changing out arms, putting on new sleeves. That's easy. I don't know what I have. I don't think I have anything. See, I would get rid of stuff.
Next time, the little cowgirl boots and some clothes, and maybe a little more dog, puppy.
Well, I've got to make the Rodney Raccoon. I make the artist. Who else is going to go there? Now, Manfred is named after the company. Manfred is named after my first dog, which was a dachshund, and his name was Manfred the Wonder Dog. And so I just always love that name, Manfred. Isn't that a great name? So yeah, so I call it the House of Manfred. And I'm just like,
they're really great. Here,
look at this.
and it's got a flower at the bottom.
Yes.
Can we see one real quick as we end the show? Can you show us a couple of your stuffies? Because a couple of people have just jumped on, and I want them to see what we're talking about. Please.
Here's Hamish.
Hamish.
And he's got bagpipes. And he's got a little butt. He's got a little butt tail. And he's wearing a sweater. He's the Scottish hare. And he's got a little tam on. He's got his sweater and his kilt.
It's so great.
He's got his little kilt on. And let's see, we've got Sir Figsby, Sir Figsby Berry. He's a Renaissance guy. Let me see. He's got his hat on, sort of. You can see his earring there. And he's got his bubble pants and his shirt and his little. He's very dapper, and he's the one that's got his beer stein. And last but not least, we have, this is Millie Tidbit.
Millie.
And she's a harvest mouse. She's got her little embroidered acorn. And she's got her basket with her acorns in it. And she's got her bloomers on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right. There's, oh, look at that. She's got her tail sticking out. Hey there.
And she loves to play piano.
Yeah, she likes hanging out at the piano.
Thank you so much for being here. Just thank
Well,
you.
thanks for having me on and putting up with all my stuff and goofiness that I collect.
I wish I was going to see you next week. I'm going to be in the East Bay, and I'm going to walk on 4th Street and go,
oh, well, go to Molly B and say hi and say you just saw Lauren. I tell you, I had a friend that went there and from Louisiana, and he was a little boy that worked in the store with me. And he went over there and he talked to Deanna, the manager, and he says, hi, I know Lauren. And she's like, said, I just saw her last week. And they were like, oh my gosh.
well, I wish I was going to see you in person, but one of these days, soon, it'll happen.
Yeah, it'll happen for sure. And everything. And I guess I'll go back to blasting my music.
Blast your music and share the show. Go to my page and share it from my page to yours.
Okay.
And your friends will get to see the show.
All right. That's true. Okay. That's true. So if they missed it, they can see it.
And it'll be on your
Very
page.
cool.
Cool. I'm going to give you a standing ovation here real quick. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a
Thank
good night.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I'm here. You know where I am every day and every night.
I do. And I'm glad. Hey, everybody. I didn't get to see who was on. I can't see anything. I can just see myself and you.
Go back and see it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I would like to have said hi to everybody. With Julie was there, and William, and Mama Grace, and
Pat, and Suzanne, and Mike, and Claudia, and Michael Shepard, and Emily Hughes, Rob Morocco, Carol Morocco, Julie, quite a few people. Yeah.
wow.
More people will watch it now that it's here.
Yeah, I know. That's really cool.
Cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Keep it going. Folks.
Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Happy.
Yeah.
Love you. Really. Just love heart, everybody. Saying goodnight.
Yeah.
Turn that music on, girl. Crank it. Let's dance.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. All right. Let's see if I can get it on again. Oh, shoot.
I'm dead.
Good
night, everybody. Oh, that's okay. Facebook will probably make me, edit the show anyway somehow.
Oh, here's a good one.
Thank you, Julie. Julie's thanking both of us. Good night, Claudia.
All right, here we go. Devo. It's a beautiful world.
Good night, everybody.